Hello, welcome to the Whisky Comedian podcast today from the Galway Comedy Festival, and I'm being joined by the wonderful Tommy Tiernan. How are you doing?
I'm fantastic for a man who's in a lane at midnight with whiskey in a plastic bag. Fantastic. I'm great, actually.
You've literally just came off stage from Setlist, which is the show where you don't know what you're going to talk about until it flashes up on the screen.
And then people don't know why they're looking at you.
Yeah, you're up on stage, you're very animated up there, and particularly last night when we saw you, you were... we could see your brain ticking over, and you were having a right big argument with your own brain.
Yeah, I lost.
Fair.
Lost that argument.
So Galway's your home city?
Yeah, I'm here 24 years now, 25 years.
Right.
Great place.
And this festival you're doing 6 shows.
Yeah.
In 6 different venues on 6 nights.
Yeah.
How's it going with that?
It's going brilliant. It's great to because I tour Ireland basically county by county, and I'm. Just because Galway is so different, just different parts of the town, different types of personality, I just wanted to see if I could do different venues around it. So it's a very boring explanation for a very great idea. So I love it. I gig a lot. Like, I'm not one of those people who you hear some comedians who they do very well and they don't do it for 2 years and they come back for 3 months. I'm at it the whole time.
Good.
So I'm constantly humiliated, constantly overjoyed, constantly desperate and constantly confident.
I'm desperate for a drink right now, I believe, yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Right, and we're outside the Roisin Dubh pub with loads of other comics right now, and we've got in the bag, we've got 11 different whiskies and bourbons that have been given to us by the people at the Good Spirits Company in Glasgow. So just jump into the bag, pick one out, and we'll see what we've got. Have a swally. It's the Auchentoshan 12-year-old, which is 40%. It's been made in Glasgow. Just outside Glasgow at the Erskine Bridge in Clydebank. So what I want you to do for me?
It's smooth, isn't it?
Yeah, well, it's one of the few Scotch. It's one of the few Scotches which are triple distilled, just like the Irish whiskies are. Right, so hence the reason it's very smooth and very delicate.
You could drink that on its own, like you wouldn't have to have a pint to chase that down with.
Definitely not. Yeah.
So we're just taking a mouthful of it.
Have a mouthful of it, enjoy it, and what I want you to do is, because you gig around the country all the time, and you're doing 6 venues here, we've done lots of different venues, that Auchentoshan, wear it one of the venues that you've recently performed.
That tastes like an archbishop's spit.
What? How the hell do you know what an archbishop's spit tastes like?
Well, it's suggestive of that. It has that kind of, it's a very dignified, ecclesiastical kind of, you can kind of sense there's a cathedral kind of poshness to it, but it also, it's a little nasty kick in it, like I never wanted to be a priest, never mind an archbishop, a kind of a vinegary. Do you remember the vinegar they gave Christ on the cross? He asked for a drink and they gave him vinegar. This is a kind of posh version of that. It's nice. It's very easy to drink, actually. Very easy to drink. It's not suggestive of anything of anywhere outdoors to me. It doesn't suggest the wild or you know, the wind. It's like an indoor whiskey.
Right.
That'd be my tuppence head.
What is your whiskey drinking heritage or knowledge?
Very little. No, I like the smell of peaty stuff.
What's going on, man? How are you?
I like this.
I wasn't going to ask your name because I thought you might take the piss out of me.
No.
Tommy Tiernan, nice to meet you.
How are you? How are you, kid? I like the smell of peaty stuff.
Which we can smell right now, because almost this whole area here in West Galway is in the city. There's peat fires everywhere all the time.
I honestly find I like the smell of that, but in terms of drinking it, when I'm at home on my own, I would drink whiskey. I find it a bit rough. I find if I'm trying to like whiskey more than I actually do, but if I'm out drinking pints of Guinness, I can drink almost anything.
That's what he's drinking.
Yeah, so that's my whiskey. I'm not great with whiskey on its own, but with a pint, I love it. And I've also noticed as well, there's a different kind of drunk. I find that whiskey makes the back of my head drunk. So my face might be sober, but I would lose the power of speech. And I find that the thoughts don't travel all the way from the cerebral cortex to my mouth. It's an internal drunk. Whereas I find that, and it ends up being an angry drunk. But I think Guinness it's completely, the outside of my face gets drunk, and I talk, and it's fantastic. So a mixture of the two is what we do. So whiskey on its own, I'm not crazy about, but when I mix it with Guinness, it's good.
Right, so it's almost 1 o'clock at night. You did your gig at 8 o'clock this evening.
And why am I still talking so much?
No. how much have you been having a fair bit of Guinness over the course of that night?
No, pint and a half. So.
Right. Well,
can I taste another
one last one, definitely. What we'll try and do is we'll try and get you one of the Irish ones that we've got in here, just to see how it compares and contrasts for you, because we'll get some rather stunning wild geese. Oh, they're all coming out. Here's Pierce, right? Right, where we go? Oh, don't let them fall. Right, hopefully
it should be happening down the canal.
Right, I can't find it. Where is it? We'll get some. I know where it is. I know where it is. It's in the bag proper. Right, here we go.
It's aftershave.
Right, it's not aftershave. This is from the boys at Cooley. It's the Wild Geese.
Cooley. Now we were walking in Cooley, and we got a bottle of their whiskey that had won some big award in
Connemara.
Was that it?
The peated one.
Yeah, but you know, yeah, we did. Okay, let's smell this. Oh, let's sniff this. Okay, I'll take a slug of this.
Yes.
Oh, that's great. That's great. That's like a mattress in front of a fire that's been on for ages. Do you know what I mean?
I know exactly what you mean, yeah.
That's just like, sit down, take your time. And it doesn't hit you until you're about a second or two after you swallow it. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of like, lay down. Aren't you in a good place? It doesn't kind of grab you immediately, it's more like... Oh, that's fantastic. That's very good.
Tell you what, have it.
No, I couldn't have that, really.
Fuck yeah! I've got another
it?
bottle of that. It's called Wild Geese. It's the limited edition 4th Centennial one.
Beautiful.
Now, what's the story of the Wild Geese?
The Wild Geese were when the English were coming. One of the tactics of the English when they started to take over Ireland was to take all the sons of noble families and educate them in England. So they would come back to Ireland Anglified, and they would be able to speak English, and they'd be kind of groomed in the ways of the empire. And a group of young men decided that wasn't going to happen to them, so they went off to Spain and to France, and it was the men of an entire county, County Donegal, and they all went at the same time because they didn't want this kind of brainwashing to happen. And their departure is known so wonderful as the flight of the wild geese.
Right.
I think that's what it is. I'm not sure that's...
That is pretty much what I was told, but you have said it more eloquently than I ever could.
It's a great story, isn't it? It's just such great... so rather than hide out and skulk, maybe they couldn't in their own... the mountains of Donegal, they decided, no, let's get out of here altogether. And I suppose then what happened was, the reason it's lamentable is because you had a generation of Donegal people without their finest, youngest, strongest aspirants to fight the wild geese. So that's...
And it's great that it's celebrated because in a whiskey.
Yeah, it's better than anything that you can condense to alcohol.
Yes.
In terms of like,
yeah,
you know, we could maybe mark the passing of Christopher Reeve, or
of all the people, why Christopher Reeve?
I have no idea, because he was legless. Is that the name? But you know what I mean? We can mark the passing of different whiskies. You know, wouldn't it be great if when you died, then instead of a funeral, they kind of managed to liquefy your spirit, and everybody, as they were coming to the house to say goodbye to people you're related to, was given, we've condensed your friend into this. And
so if you were to get yourself condensed at the end of the day, what would it be? What would you be? Would you be a vodka? Would you be a whiskey? Would you be a Guinness?
I'd like to think I'd be a whiskey. There's no effect on you as you take it, but a week later you're pissing in front of the police.
Well, that pretty much sums everything up, I think. Tommy, thank you very, very much indeed.
Thanks
it's
for
been an
talking.
absolute
It's a
pleasure.
Yeah, it's
You
been
take
great.
good
Thank
care. Enjoy the rest
Thank
of the festival here, and good luck with tomorrow night's gig, which is where?
Tomorrow night's gig is in the Town Hall Theatre and then back at Setlist. So, Sloan, Live Galore, Massmoro de la Machacadie, Whisky Tasting Posse.
Excellent, thank you very much. This is Whisky Comedian Podcast here at the Galway Comedy Festival. We've got our stuff thanks to the good people at the Glasgow Whisky Company. Good Spirits Company, sorry. Take care, I'm Alan Anderson. All the best, good night, bye bye, thank you.